On April 1st, 2026, humanity left Earth again. 4 astronauts rode Orion into the sky, broke through the atmosphere, and headed for the moon. But once they reached deep space, one brutal truth surrounded them. There was no air, no oxygen, no pressure, no atmosphere, no rescue station nearby. Just 4 humans inside a sealed metal capsule, flying through vacuum, where every breath had to be stored, filtered, measured, and protected by machines. So how did the Artemis II crew survive more than 9 days beyond Earth? They did not find air in space, they carried Earth's atmosphere with them. On our planet, breathing feels automatic because Earth does everything for us. Gravity holds a thick blanket of air around the surface. That air is mostly nitrogen, with about 21% oxygen, the perfect mix for the human body. But the higher you climb, the thinner that blanket becomes. At the edge of space, the atmosphere is almost gone. Around the moon, nearly 384,000 kilometers from Earth, there is no breathable air at all. And space is not just empty, it is violently unforgiving. Without pressure, your lungs cannot work properly. Oxygen cannot move through the body the way it should. Moisture begins to behave dangerously, and consciousness can fade in seconds. So inside Orion, the astronauts were not simply passengers. They were living inside a tiny artificial Earth. Outside the capsule, vacuum. Inside the capsule, breath. And between those two worlds stood Orion's life support system. Tanks, valves, fans, filters, pumps, sensors, and computers working non-stop to keep the cabin alive. The first challenge was oxygen. The crew could not open a hatch and breathe. There was nothing outside to use. So Orion carried oxygen on board and released it carefully into the cabin. Too little oxygen and the crew would suffocate. Too much, and fire risk increases. The spacecraft had to constantly maintain the right balance. But oxygen alone does not save you. Every time a human exhales, they release carbon dioxide. On Earth, open air, oceans, plants, and weather dilute it. Inside a sealed spacecraft, carbon dioxide builds up fast. First come headaches, then confusion, then dizziness, then death. So Orion had to scrub carbon dioxide from the cabin air before it became dangerous. Fans pulled used air through the system, filters removed the carbon dioxide, and sensors checked the air again and again. In a way, the spacecraft breathed with the crew. They inhaled oxygen, exhaled waste gas and moisture. Then Orion pulled that air in, cleaned it, dried it, balanced it, and sent it back into the cabin. Thousands of times for more than 9 days. But air quality was only one part of survival. Every breath also released water vapor. In a small sealed capsule, humidity can condense on walls, fog surfaces, corrode equipment, and threaten electronics. So Orion had to remove moisture from the air too. Then came heat. 4 humans produce heat. Computers produce heat. Sunlight can bake one side of the spacecraft while deep space surrounds the other. But space has no air to carry heat away, no wind, no atmosphere. Heat must be moved through fluids, cooling loops, and radiators. Too hot, and the crew overheats. Too cold, and systems fail. So Orion had to manage temperature moment by moment. This was not just a spacecraft. It was a moving climate system, a miniature Earth wrapped in metal. And unlike the International Space Station, Artemis II was far from quick help. If something failed near the moon, there was no rescue ship waiting, no station to dock with, no easy return. The only way home was through. That is why every system needed backups. Sensors watched the air, computers tracked pressure, safety systems waited behind other safety systems. Because in deep space, small problems become life or death problems. A rising carbon dioxide level becomes a medical emergency. A pressure leak becomes a race against time. A failed cooling loop becomes a threat to the whole mission. For more than 9 days, the Artemis II crew slept, worked, and looked back at Earth as it shrank behind them. Outside, Orion was silence, vacuum, nothing. But inside, invisible machines held the boundary between life and death. They supplied oxygen, removed carbon dioxide, controlled pressure, captured humidity, regulated heat, and kept 4 humans breathing where humans were never meant to breathe. That is the miracle of Artemis II. Not that space became safe, but that we built a tiny world inside the void and carried our atmosphere with us. And here's the question. If humans can carry air into deep space, do you think we'll one day build entire cities beyond Earth? Or is space simply too hostile for us to truly live there? Drop your answer in the comments.